Just beyond the San Francisco Bay lies Alcatraz Island, once home to some of the most notorious and dangerous criminals in America, now a popular tourist destination and one of the most infamous paranormal locations in the United States. The name Alcatraz comes from the Spanish word Alcatraces, believed to mean pelican or strange bird. In 1775, Spanish explorer Juan Manuel de Ayala was the first to chart the San Francisco Bay. He named one of its rocky outposts Isla de Alcatraces, the island we now know as Alcatraz. In 1850, during the California Gold Rush, the U.S. military claimed the island. They built a fortress at its peak and planned over 100 cannons to guard the bay, forming part of the Triangle of Defense. It was the most heavily fortified site on the West Coast and home to the first lighthouse in the region. By the late 1850s, Alcatraz had taken on a new role as a military prison. In 1909, inmates tore down the old citadel and helped construct a new prison on its foundation. It became the U.S. Army's Pacific Branch Disciplinary Barracks, and the origin of the prison we now call the Rock. In 1934, Alcatraz was handed over to the U.S. Department of Justice and transformed into a maximum security, minimum privilege federal prison, designed to house the most dangerous, unbreakable men of the era. From then on, Alcatraz was no longer just a fortress. It became a symbol of fear. Legend of paranormal phenomena began long before Alcatraz shut down operations. Long before Europeans came to the Americas, the Ohlone tribe had precedence over Alcatraz. They believed Alcatraz to be a hotspot for negative spiritual energy. Reportedly, in some instances, the Ohlone used Alcatraz as a place to isolate or repudiate tribe members who had broken sacred laws. In the 1940s, Warden James A. Johnston hosted a Christmas Eve party, which was joined by several guards and staff members. During the gathering, some of the guards reported witnessing something they'd never forget: a ghostly man suddenly appearing before them. He wore clothing from the 1800s and had thick mutton chop sideburns. He stood silently in the room. As everyone turned toward him, the air dropped to an unnatural cold, and the fire in the fireplace extinguished with force. When the flames had died, the man was gone, vanished as suddenly as he had appeared. D Block served as Alcatraz's isolation unit, used for inmates who resisted authority or repeatedly violated prison rules. It was quieter than the other blocks, colder, more psychologically tormenting. Most cells on D Block functioned like the rest of the prison, but 5 were different, commonly referred to as the Hole. These solitary confinement cells had no windows, lights, or plumbing. Inmates were completely shut off from the outside world and left in complete and total darkness. Of them all, Cell 14D is the most infamous. According to reports, one prisoner placed there began screaming during the night, claiming something with glowing red eyes was watching him. Guards found him dead the next morning, his face twisted, with marks around his neck. There were no signs of another person, ever entering the cell. To this day, visitors say 14D is unusually cold. Many feel nauseous or dizzy inside. Some hear whispers, others refuse to go in at all. Whether it's trauma, suggestion, or something else entirely, D Block remains one of the most unsettling places on Alcatraz. In 1946, an escape attempt turned violent. 3 inmates were shot and killed in what became known as the Battle of Alcatraz. It happened in a utility corridor near the cell blocks. Today, strange noises echo from that space. Guards and visitors have reported loud bangs, footsteps, and voices, despite it being sealed and empty. Some believe the men who died there never really left. Beyond specific stories, reports of strange activity come from across the island. Guards, staff, and modern-day visitors have all described unexplained footsteps, disembodied voices, and slamming cell doors in wings that were completely empty. Some report sudden changes in temperature, cold pockets that seem to appear and vanish at will. Others feel as though they're being watched, even followed. For every ghost story tied to Alcatraz, there's a skeptic with an alternative explanation. Many paranormal sightings here may stem from the island's natural conditions: thick fog, howling wind, and echoing concrete walls. They can distort sound and create the illusion of presence. What some interpret as whispers or footsteps may simply be the acoustics of the space. Psychologists point to the power of suggestion and environmental priming. When you step into a place as infamous and emotionally charged as Alcatraz, your mind is already prepared for something unusual. Combine that with dim lighting, isolation, and silence, and the brain can easily misinterpret stimuli. Even still, some accounts defy simple explanation. Guards with no history of superstition, visitors unaware of the legends, even investigators using scientific equipment have walked away with more questions than answers. Alcatraz officially closed in 1963, but for many, its echoes from the past continue. Maybe the spirits are real. Maybe it's just our minds confronting the silence. Or maybe, in a place built on isolation and fear, the line between memory and haunting is thinner than we think.